All right. Hey, good morning, everyone. How's it going? Just wanted to provide a quick update on today, just how the portfolio is doing. And also, I wanted to talk about just my three main stocks. I think it's important, especially today, and I'll get to as to why. As usual, before I start, this is not financial advice, just for entertainment purposes. So please do your own due diligence. And if you guys can, please, hit the subscribe button below and also the like button, assuming you're liking the content. It really helps out with the channel. And last but not least, if you are interested in opening a brokerage account, there's a Robinhood and a WeBull link at the bottom that you can get some free stocks by depositing some money. Also, a Coinbase account for crypto, if you're trying to get into that as well. So how are we doing today? It's been an iffy day, right? Especially, it's been an iffy day that we expected it to happen, especially with the run up that we had this week. So just a reminder, right? Over the last week, we've had a run up of almost 30, a little over 33%, over $20,000, right? At one point, we got as high as what is it, 83 or 84,000. So I expected some sort of a pullback. Now, the good thing here about a pullback, and this is why it's always important for you guys out there that are just starting out learning. This is something that took me a bit to learn on my end as well. But on certain days where you expect a pullback after you had such a big rise overall, make sure you have cash on hand because that's what's going to save you. That's what's going to save you overall, the cash on hand. And I'll explain that as to why right now. So today, it would have been easy, right? At one point, right here, when I started seeing this drop, to just start selling some stuff, right? Especially after I seen a lot of my gains starting to be wiped out a little bit for the week, right? But we all know usually when there's a big pullback, what happens is, and why the cash on hand is important, there's going to be a lot of folks who buy in low once the stock has a nice dip, and then you start riding that wave all the way to the top again. So that's what I did today. A lot of my stocks were just starting to fall and drop. And for the ones that I'm most confident in, I like most of the stocks that I have, obviously, right? That's why I have them. But there's a few, which are the ones I'm going to talk about today really quickly, that I'm obviously uber confident in them. So anytime I see a big dip, 5, 10% or anything like that, I'm going to buy more of it because I think it's going to climb back up and I'm just going to have a bigger wave on the way up. So as you saw, we got as low here at 75, which is terrifying, right? Considering at one point we're 84. But now we're back to 79. I think this will keep climbing. I don't know if we'll end up flat or anything like that at the end of the day, but I think this will continue to climb, and then tomorrow will be a day that maybe it takes off in the right direction. So, what's been saving my butt today? As usual, let's talk about it over here. CCIV, right? This is the post. This is the Churchill Capital merging with Lucid Motors. So look at this. This stock. First of all, I'm up 74%. This stock has not even fully confirmed the merger with Lucid, and it's already at $60. I've had people ask me, is it too late to get in? And I don't know if it's too late. Well, if you're holding for the long term, I don't think it's too late. I think this will be a stock that one day, not financial advice, but one day this will hit $200 to $300. This will be your Tesla that you probably missed out on Tesla before. So I don't think it's bad to get in at any point if you're if you're going to be a long term hold. If you're going to be a short term hold, then you might want to hold off because two things can happen. They announce the merger tomorrow, and then maybe there's a lot of people have been buying the news. Buying the rumors, selling the news, right? So it's run up as much as it's going to run up. What is it up the past week? 71%, right? Insane. Um, and then maybe at that point it's going to drop off. Or the opposite, which would be great for me and everybody else invested in it. It's going to continue to shoot back up, even after they fully announce the merger. So it's tough to tell, to be completely honest. But either way, I do think this merger is going to happen. All the signs are pointing to it. I'd be shocked if it didn't. Obviously, I would lose a lot of money if it didn't, but I do think it's going to happen. I'll keep updating you guys on the stock every day until this merger happens, and then maybe we'll trail off a little bit. But overall, we're looking good. Another 7% today, so this one helped me come back from that deficit you saw on the first screen with my portfolio. The next one we want to talk about here is going to be STPK and CCIV. So let me open these up in other browsers. So STPK, right? It took a drop. At one point, it got as low as 44, down 11%. I bought right around here at the 9% mark, 45 mark, and now it's back to 46. And I'm going to continue buying. This is my largest holding. And this is one of the reasons why I think I'm going to have a big year, along with CCIV. So remember, I wanted to talk about my three. The number one is CCIV right now, as far as because it's more permanent to the update stuff. But STPK, Star Peak Energy Nutrition, is going to be my largest holding overall. And they're going to once again merge with STEM. And there hasn't been a whole lot of news on STEM lately, What they did release out today is that they just announced a director of board for the post-merger public company services. So this tells me that, first of all, they have their ducks in order. They got the people that are going to drive this moving forward. But also, um, it's just another thing that a reminder that this is going to merge within Q1. That merger is essentially all but agreed upon. It just needs the vote on the day of. And then this stock is going to continue to shoot up, especially during the Biden presidency. So I'm very confident in the stock. I think it's going to be a 2 to 3x bagger at one point, and I'm happy that I get to increase my shares every time I see a dip. This is one that I would never sell. I don't lose any sleep on this one. And then the last one, MP. Now this one has been another great one for me. We're up 22%. Another day, look, once again, it had a dip at one point. I bought some in the dip. I think I added another like $1,000 worth of shares, and now it's back up 3 to 4%. And this is the one that, yes, it's in my top three, but I think this is the one that has the potential to grow the most. Because once again, what they do, especially in the U.S., nobody else does. I found this interesting article here, right? Not this one right here. Talking about MP, right? So what do they do? Just I'll read some of this just because I think it's important for those of you who don't understand the company. So as noted above, MP material mines rare earth materials. These materials are key ingredients in modern technology products, notably markets, notably magnets. That may not sound exciting, but without the rare earth materials for which MP material mines, a huge number of high-tech products wouldn't get made. That includes defense products, which is where things start to get interesting. MP Materials primary mines in the U.S. However, the vast majority of rare earth metals come from China. Over the weekend, prominent news outlets suggested China was considering to export curbs on rare earth material as a way to apply pressure on the U.S. So that means they're going to increase taxes on it, which means that MP is going to get even more popular, especially if the U.S. wants to have a chance to fight back on this, right? Even as I mentioned, such thing is possible exposes major risks for the U.S. politically and economically and defensively. It isn't shocking to see investors jump into MP Materials given the domestic location of its assets, assuming that there will be an increase in demand from companies looking to shore up their rare earth supply chains. Although this isn't exactly a new goal for new companies the world over, it may suddenly have a newfound urgency. So, I mean, I won't get into this right here, but anymore in this, but it just shows you guys once again that this is a rare stock that is super cheap right now. Even that it's run up, what is it, the last 3 months, even if it's run up 154%, it's something that they do in the US that nobody else really does for the most part. China is going to start, potentially taxing more of these exports on it. So people are going to look to these guys soon. Now, one big catalyst coming up. So if you do, once again, not financial advice, but if you do want to jump into the stock, right, maybe wait for a dip one of these days, or if not, just jump into it right off the bat because I still think it's going to go up. But what you want to note right here, guys, is that there's a catalyst coming up, which is going to be on the 18th, March 18th after hours. That's when they release their earnings, right? I think they're going to have some really good news, some good updates on the company, and I don't see why the earnings wouldn't be bad. Wouldn't be good. So I think it's a good opportunity to kind of get in here right before, because I think it's going to be another catalyst that drives the stock up. But with that being said, that's pretty much what I have for you guys today. Remember, once again, subscribe. If you guys like the content I'm putting out here, I'll continue to provide updates on my portfolio and stocks that I like, and and hopefully it's something that you guys enjoy over time. I'm going to add a link once again to the end screen just for one of the videos that I made on margin. I've had a couple people ask about margin. That's one of the reasons I'm able to grow so quickly. There's a certain amount of money that I play with, that's mine, and then the other half is essentially Robinhood's margin that they allow me for having, a gold membership and having X amount of dollars in their account, which is a great way to kind of reap the benefits of having money in Robinhood, which is one of my, essentially my main trading app. But I'll put a video right here in the end screen right now, and you guys should check it out in case that's something you're interested in doing. So other than that, I'll catch you guys later. See ya.